Hello and welcome to DDOcast episode 352, recorded on Saturday, September 20th. I'm your host, Patrick. We'll have Geoff Hanna and Jerry Snook joining me later in the show. This week's screenshot, Shalera Dagan travels into the Thunder Peaks with her precious parrot Ollie in the 189th screenshot of the week. Nice little shot. I like the contrasting red and green. We like to talk about Dungeons & Dragons online nearly every weekend. You can watch us through Google Plus Hangouts, YouTube, or from our website at DDOcast.com. The show is usually available within a few days of recording. And we're hosted by Cyber Ears, the awesome podcast hosting network. The next show will probably be next weekend. Day and time yet to be determined, probably on Sunday, I think. But we'll find out. Just trying to line that up. You can stay updated by following us on social media pages, our website, DDOcast.com, especially with our calendar. I usually try and keep that up to date as I know what's going on. On the Pastcast this week, we have a little bit of not a whole lot of news really, some community stuff, and at the end of the show, we're going to do a walkthrough of the Haunted Halls of Eveningstar. With DDOGamer Geoff Hanna and Turbine's Cordovan, a.k.a. Jerry. I really appreciated those guys joining me for that. So you can watch us meander through Haunted Halls of Eveningstar later in the show. Game news for the week was pretty much non-existent. There was some talk about how much XP there would be for level 30, and Varguil kind of popped into the thread and chimed in, mostly to say that the idea that the XP to get to level 30 was going to be the same as it currently is to get to 28 was a rumor, which some people responded with some unhappiness about how that was kind of vague. And his response to that was, it would hurt immensely to say any of the things that people were talking about. So whether say that it was going to be true, it was going to be more XP, pretty much anything that he could say on the matter of how much XP it was actually going to be. And the reason for that was, as he put it, the implicit presumption that devs know everything from now until forever, or that devs are capricious and secretive because we want to toy with players, is simply wrong. They haven't, for instance, discussed with the Players' Council or discussed with Live or researched all that they should in order to make a fully informed decision. It would be irresponsible for any dev to promise anything here and be harmful to the future of DDO. Here's a dirty secret. Some of these decisions aren't decided yet. Saying things that aren't decided sometimes upsets players. There's usually little good to come from a dev saying something is undecided, often some harm. Case in point, this kind of frustrated response could have been avoided if he'd have just shut up. It also doesn't mean that the topic hasn't been discussed at all, but that doesn't mean we're at a point where it's useful to state anything. We may be busy disagreeing with each other, or just busy with other things, like finishing update 23. What has been decided is that we're putting off some decisions until later. He sincerely hoped that explains why it's right to be vague sometimes and also silent sometimes. So basically, a little bit of translation, it would be inappropriate for him to comment on what the XP for level 30 is going to look like because they don't know yet. They haven't done research, they haven't figured out what they want it to look like, they haven't asked the Players' Council and done any kind of feedback mechanisms. All that he really wanted to say was people saying that XP for level 30 is going to be the same as it currently is to get to level 28 is a rumor. There is no fact to that. No dev has said that. The devs are not promising that. So what the XP for level 30 will be is up in the air. I think we talked about this on the show not that long ago. I think what we came up with is if they continue the current XP curve, it comes out to be somewhere just shy of 10 million XP for Epic. That's a lot of XP. Almost half of what you have to get right now to get to cap again. So it'll be interesting to see what they come up with on that regards. That was pretty much the highlight of the news week for the most part. There's some community stuff we'll get to in a minute. Let's see, bonus days for the weekend. There are plus 25% challenge rewards, which is convenient for me because I just decided that I wanted to get a House Cannith challenge item upgraded. Let's see, the store news. There is a pirate theme sale through Sunday, September 21st. in honor of Talk Like a Pirate Day on September 19th, you can get the following items for 25% off. You can get the Landlubber Bundle, which has 3 Brillo Cove, Sentinels of Stormreach, and Attack on Stormreach adventure packs. You can get the Swashbuckling Cosmetic Outfit, which is on sale during this sale. It's usually not available all the time, but it'll be here for that. As far as cosmetics, hats, and headwear, you can get a pirate bandana, 3-cornered hat, the pirate hat, captain's chapeau, Corsair's skullcap, Dread Admiral's tricorn, and pirate hat dies. And that will be just through the weekend. It's a pretty short sale, so if you want that, jump on it. Hopefully I get the show out in time so you can act on that. The sales for the week through Thursday, that's September 25th or something like that, you can get 25% off Creature Companions, Creature Companion gear, Creature Companion name changes, and Creature Companion treats. And for the freebie for the week, you can get 5 Universal Challenge tokens with the code CHLNG9. You can get that one per account. Community news. DDO Chronicle, the 110th iteration. Spencerian has launched a new website looking at stealth, the Stormreach Shadows Stealth Guide, a DDO Stealth Guide. And he's looking for players to help just kind of update that and fill it out and make it a stealth guide. So if you are interested in helping with that, you can check that out. Corrupting has created new maps for the upcoming Epic Orchard of Macabre, so you can see that. The videos for the week, the Alliance group also went to the Haunted Halls of Eveningstar this week, and Ziandies has video tutorials for the heroic raid Accursed Ascension. If there ever was a raid that you needed to have video tutorials for, that would probably be the one. Guild for the week. Zerg is a level 101 guild on Thelanis that likes to keep their numbers small. The guild is recruiting highly active DDO players looking for a drama-free environment. Let's see, the comment for the week. What is your favorite pirate phrase? The Yar, where's the booty? Like treasure on DDOcast. There is a new fan site. DDO Central is a new fan site that gathers together DDO-related blogs, videos, and other player-created efforts. It's a new endeavor. He's doing a great job so far. Basically what it is, it's combining pretty much anything you can think of DDO that's on the web. So blogs, there's links for different Facebook pages, different websites. I highly recommend that you check that out. We'll link to that in the show notes. DDOcast got a shout-out for our 2014 Players Council interview, which was a lot of fun doing that. I really want to say thanks to those guys, and thanks to Dre for helping set that up as well. I had a lot of positive feedback from it as well. DDOGamer was looking at wildflowers, kind of looking, that particular blog, he was looking at the origins for some of the wildflowers in the Stormhorns, and found a pretty good match. The Mania server is still up, so you can still check out update 23, although it did not get updated this week. And then there's also, they kind of did a spotlight of the knowledge base, their customer service knowledge base, so you can look at some graphical display issues, was kind of what they were linking to there. The other piece of news was MMORPG was looking at update 23, the Mark of Death. And there was a couple of things actually out of their kind of review that I thought were of note. So these are just some snippets out of that review. We were also told that there would be adjustments made to several maps that would allow players to travel to adventure areas much more quickly and easily, but the meat of the update is in the lore and new story to play through. I'm not sure if that is just referring to the high upper necropolis to get to the Orchard of Macabre. So we'll see if there's maybe some other things there. This was kind of describing the raid. Next, the team will face a big-time lore character that was cheerfully described by one of the devs as, quote, half-elf, half-dragon, all lich. Lady Vol, the last carrier of the Dragon Mark of Death, she features in the raid as a character whose goal is to regain the ability to use the Dragon Mark, which can only be wielded by the living. One of the cool features of the raid will be that players will get to see the Dragon Mark of Death in action on them. Yeah. The raid it also mentioned that the raid will be included in the Orchard of Macabre adventure pack. If players already have the pack, there's no additional purchase necessary, and there was much rejoicing. If not, then you have to pick it up in order to join the raid. And just a note on that, if you do not currently own the Orchard pack, generally speaking, with these kind of updates, they have increased the price of those packs. So you may want to get it before that price increase comes. That's not to say that there actually is going to be one. I'm just saying in the past that has been a common thing that has happened. It's usually not too much. I think the 3-blower cove went up by about 20%. Or at least if the new price, if you got a 20% off sale, it was more or less what it was the old price. So even if you're buying it at full price, it might be a good time to buy it. If they do raise the price, usually they announce that with about at least a month or a couple of weeks beforehand, so you can get some time to do that. Some of the videos this week, the weekly Wednesday that Jerry does went to High Road, part 1 of that, and the Summer Fling went to Red Fens in their 12th episode. See, DDOGamer in the blog sphere was pondering lost spaces. So what he was looking at was here the troubles of airship organization and where to stick stuff. My advice, coming from me personally, in the first floor, I stuck the bank, auction house, and mailbox kind of in the first bay of the first floor, because that's what I'm using the most. We put it right there, and then we put just something to sell, some kind of a vendor just across the bay across from it, just to make that kind of interaction really easy. I would also say you want to stick the banquet hall kind of close to that front door. And probably the guild storage when it comes to, you want to stick that as close to the front door. My general rule of thumb is, if you're going to use, the more you're going to use it, the closer you want it to the door of the first floor. And stick all the stuff that you don't really need to use, and it's just kind of fluffy stuff, and maybe you want to go look at some point in time. Stick that on the bottom floors. You don't really need to stick everything you want to access on the first floor, and the stuff that you're going to use more often, stick it closer to the front. Let's see, that is the news for the week. Like I said, not a lot of news this week again. We'll have a survey question in Lightning Post coming from Magistoix. Ooh, that's a hard name to pronounce. Magistoix. Why do solo characters get less XP? So it's not actually true that solo characters get less XP. They get the same amount of XP as anybody else. It doesn't matter how many people in your party, you'll get the same amount of XP. However, there are things to keep in mind with that. If you have more people in your party, you can do quests typically faster, particularly if you're talking about a quest where you need to split up. So you can send some people one direction, some people another direction. So you're getting faster XP. Other thing you can do with more people is you can get all the optional experience points. So whether that be go kill a mini boss or complete some sort of optional objective, or it can also be things like getting all the breakables, getting all the traps, getting those different bonuses. It just becomes easier to get those bonuses with more people in the group because you can achieve them faster. There's also the aspect that you might have someone in your party that knows how to get that optional XP that maybe you don't know how that works. So that's something to consider as well. So there's not anything to say that solo characters get less XP. It's just if you have more people, you may be able to get more XP in a faster clip. You might get less XP if you're in a party, just because if you're in an explorer area, and someone is over the level of that explorer area, and that will hurt how much XP you can get. But generally speaking, there is no penalty for playing solo in terms of XP. It's just you might get more XP being in a party. I hope that helps answer that question. Let's see. So with that, I'm going to close out this portion of the show. Thanks to everyone for listening to the show, and thanks to our guests for contributing, particularly Geoff and Jerry this week with the Haunted Halls walkthrough. Thanks to all the other folks contributing to DDOcast. Thanks to Turbine and Wizards for making D&D and DDO, and to Cyber Ears for hosting the podcast. You can hit us up at DDOcast.com for show notes, our calendar, previous shows, swag, and other fun stuff. If you'd like to be a part of the show or just say hi, you can email us at DDOcast@gmail.com. You can also find us on social media and follow us for the latest cast updates. The closing tip for the week. Radzak says, if you're going to ETR, don't hand in sagas until later, as they can help you level real quick. And that is true. What he's saying here is that you don't lose your saga progress after you epic reincarnate. So you can get to 28, have a couple sagas ready to go, do your reincarnation, and start at level 20, and pick up a couple of those sagas XP rewards. And because level 21 only takes something like 300,000 XP, you could very easily get up to level 21 right away doing that. So, great tip. Thank you, sir. So, with that, until next time, may all your attack rolls be crits, all your chests level appropriate, have fun, and don't forget to stick around for our Haunted Halls walkthrough. Hello, DDOcast listeners. I am here with Jerry, aka Cordovan, as well as Geoff Hanna, and we are going to do a walkthrough of the Haunted Halls. And just before we kind of get started here, what I want to do is have Jerry give us a quick overview of how this quest kind of came about, the history of this quest, and how it came into DDO.
Hey, thanks for joining us. So, we were able to basically get permission to do one of the classic D&D adventures, and just through a process of determining sort of which worked best for us, what resources were available, who could we get to, do the DM voice and things like that. We ended up choosing the Haunted Halls of Eveningstar, and it took a lot of work, frankly, to put together. It was a lot of fun, I think, for the designers who made it, and I think it turned out really well. I don't know. What else should we say a little bit about it? I guess Ed Greenwood is the dungeon master, and he of Forgotten Realms fame. And in this extended version, you can actually hear his commentary, which was recorded up in Canada by me and some other folks. We did have an audio engineer to just sort of talk about making of this classic adventure and bringing it into DDO.
I think we should mention, too, that you can play this quest in 3 different kind of modes. The standard version, an extended version, which is what we're playing this on, and then also a commentary version, which has commentary from Ed Greenwood instead of the normal DM voice. And as a special little tidbit tip, you can actually get your Bravery Streak bonus on each of those 3 independently. So just keep that in mind.
Indeed.
Oh, I didn't even know that one. Nice.
I didn't know that. I usually have to admit by this point in my adventure, I'm usually not worried too much about getting a bravery bonus, but that's okay.
It can be a little extra XP.
It should be noted, this is a high-level quest. This is level 28. So.
Yes, indeed. And we're going on normal because the goal here is to kind of give a roadmap for folks that are kind of new to this quest, as opposed to showing off how awesome we are. But
we are awesome.
We are awesome.
Just so you know. Yeah.
And we are tweaked out with the new Update 23 gear. We found a few of those pieces. So as you come in, you hit a shrine, and there is a door here which you can open. You'll find there's a lot of like secret doors and kind of skill check stuff. We're going to go to the one on the right here, the secret door.
It should be, I guess, I don't know how many people know this. This Dungeon Master recording session was done at the same time as the commentary interview, so I got to actually hear him record these DM lines as well. It was done basically in most of a day, really. The whole process took, but for Mr. Greenwood, it really, I think, was maybe 3-4 hours of his time, something like that. And it was in a nice recording studio in Canada.
Okay, this stair right here is awesome for killing your party, because here's what you do. First, it's actually 2 traps. So you run up and you survive because you're the awesome run-through trap guy. and you find a trap
Push
up
to
here.
talk.
Oh, I'm pushing to talk still. Anyway, you find this. You find the trap up here, and you disarm it, and everybody comes running up, and then they die because, in fact, there's actually 2 traps, and you only disarmed one of them. So, oh no! Or you can do it yourself while you're being broadcast, and kill yourself.
nice.
That's also fun. Thank you, thank you. So there. Pro tip: how to kill yourself and have fun at the same time.
Yeah, and as I was kind of saying, there's a lot of optional stuff you can do in here, and we're going to kind of take the short, direct route. But there's also a lot of things like skill checks, secret doors, lots of different types of skill checks, actually. And they all kind of have varying degrees of difficulty. They're not all the same. So some, you may be able to find some of them easier than others. The traps still hurt, though.
Yeah, even on normal, that hurt a lot more than I expected it to. I expected to pretty much just dance around it.
You can do this without a trapper, but trappers certainly help. And the way that we're going, you'll probably want at least someone who can find secret doors is kind of the big thing.
I'm evading on normal here, and I have a reflex of 62. So, just for those who might want a basis of comparison. That's not that high. You can get it much higher if you work at it. And I was saving through those spike traps.
A lot of what we're going to end up fighting in here are going to be undead, ghosts of people who have kind of come before us. So you come to the first room and take the door on the far side. And there's another really kind of fun little trap up here. I think it's in this hallway, yeah. So this is another kind of fun little trap area, because not only are there the blade traps, but there's little snare traps in between them. So if you try to run through it, they actually snag you and then let you get diced up.
I didn't miss. I turned away.
Sure you did. Whatever helps you sleep at night.
See, look. I don't know. I died on the first trap, so I guess I can't say anything.
Probably not. Yeah, this is one of the kind of the most creative dungeons that's in the game, and a lot of people really liked it because of how interesting and varied it is, and it really does feel like a dungeon crawl. And you'll see as we fill in the map as we go along that it's kind of windy and stuff. There's more corners than you would expect if you were familiar with the module, and most of that is because they kind of needed to deal with draw distances and stuff like that.
That's true, and there's also, but they did really base the layout on the layout of the original module, and then they sort of imagined what would happen if it was progressed over time. You know, I think 500 years is what Purple Foos has officially said, if I recall correctly. I hope I did.
Like that. So we've gone
so
through
you
a couple
figure there'd be some damage and things like that as well. Just things will have changed over time.
We've gone through a couple of secret doors, and then come to a locked door, which you can pick, or you can find the key. And then we can kill this red name guy here.
He's an annoying red named.
Really? I didn't notice him to be too difficult.
I don't, he's always dead by the time I get here. My gamer girl likes to solo him for some reason. I almost never see him. And for some reason, I find that annoying. I love this quest because there are so many traps in it, and they are so deadly and they're unique. The traps that are in here are, there's some instant kill traps in here that are just complete.
The first time I was in here, I literally got killed by a door.
Exactly. Yes, there's. I mean, these are classic things from D&D, but they don't exist anywhere else in DDO. It's really quite awesome.
So this is the doppelganger fight, which is kind of one of the main fights in the quest. And there's a couple things to note here. One is the statues, and you'll see these statues throughout the quest. If you hit them or if someone else hits them, they do electrical damage, and it's stacking debuffs at the same time. So you can really end up taking a lot of damage. You want to be careful of that. The way this fight works is we got to fight the doppelganger. And to start, we try and take the crest, which is really what we're looking for. We're looking for 2 of these crests. And he's going to get mad at us and fight us. And it will eventually say that he's actually a doppelganger, not a statue. And it's kind of best if you kind of fight over by the staircase that you kind of approach at, mostly just so that you don't end up fighting next to a bunch of the statues and taking a lot of electrical damage. But in general, electrical resist and electrical absorption can be pretty handy in here because of those statues. You can also, if you need to, just step away from them. The debuff goes away all at once as long as you haven't been hit recently. So it doesn't matter how many stacks you have. It'll go away after a couple of seconds if you don't get hit with it again.
One tip in here is if you have any hirelings with you, make sure to put them on passive and stand them aside, because they'll go attack the statues unerringly and cause everything to blow up.
So what happens here is the doppelganger actually does go and attack the statues and cause them to blow up. And there's an optional objective here. One of the statues is him, and the other ones are not. And when you talk to them, you actually get a bunch of options. And if you get them right on the first time, you get some extra XP. Now, there's a trick here, and Jerry's probably going to go tell all his dev buddies about this. But if you examine the statues, one of them has a higher challenge rating. And that's the doppelganger.
Oh, nice.
So, little pro tip there. So it gives you a lot of different options of what you can do. I think maybe, Jerry, you can probably give this guy a perform check.
Yeah, I was also thinking it's possible with a bluff as well, particularly here. But yeah, let's see. Bluff is 59 and perform is 82. So yeah.
And if you use one of the skill checks, a lot of them they don't fail, so you can still get the XP bonus.
The stat checks though do. You have to have crazy high stats for them to count.
If you fail the skill check, then you'll hit the statue or it'll not come along.
Yeah. So this is him.
Okay. You just swing your weapon at him, and he pops up. And again, the statues can still kind of blow up on you. You want to be careful of that. But once you kill him, you can go to the end of the hall, grab the crest. That's the first of 2 crests. And there's a chest. There's also these boots of grounding, which probably Jerry should pick up because I think you're more melee than any of us. They don't let you jump, but they give you 100 electrical resist, which can be really handy when you're fighting these statues.
And the one optional later too.
Yeah, which is actually it's a moving statue.
So pro tip: stay behind the rogue or the trap. Whoever's doing traps. There you go. That's not a pro tip though, but it is very important, particularly in this quest.
So I want to point something out about this shrine. This is a good one to save if you can. We're actually near the quote end fight, at least the end fight on the normal version. But it can be handy to kind of hold that shrine because it's really easy to get to once you do that fight, and you don't have to fight things to get to it. There is another shrine through this doorway here through a couple of turns, but we're not going to go that direction at this point. Unless you guys really want to.
Nope, just checking to see if it was locked. Doing my unlocking job.
If you actually look at the map, which is kind of still blacked out in a lot of ways, it's actually a straight shot to that throne room with the barriers if you go in that direction. We kind of took the circuitous route and went for the doppelganger first. Now we're going to go find the crest.
Here's a part of the journal. There's eight or so pieces of the journal throughout here. It's worth good XP if you find them all. But it's all optional.
Yes, indeed. There's a lot, like I said, we're taking the fairly direct route. There's a lot of optional stuff that you can do in here. There's a lot of room to explore. It really does feel like a dungeon crawl if you haven't done it before. Even if you have done it before, you don't really know where you're going. But it's a really kind of fun and plays a nice homage to pen and paper for sure.
In fact, if you look at the map again, it's written on graph paper.
Indeed it is.
That's I love that. Makes me laugh.
It's a nice flavor touch, in fact. There's another shrine over here where we are now, and this is another one that you can save because you do come back here for the very final fight in Extended. If you're not doing Extended, it doesn't matter. You're not going to be coming this way anyways. I believe it's this one we're going to be later. Yep.
Yep.
Okay. So there's 3 doors here, and one of them will, in fact, kill you outright, and that's what happened to me the first time I was in here. However, to the right of all 3 of those doors is a secret door, and that's the one we actually want. There's going to be a whole bunch of zombies and necromancers, and they pretty much keep respawning. You can kind of wear them down and get through them. And every time you kill a necromancer out here, the barrier goes down. But you really don't need to go through any of the doors until you get to the end of the hallway. Depending on how good your group is at killing stuff, it may take a little longer to kill some of the corpses just so you don't get an alert and whatnot. Or if you just want to rack up your kill count, you can get a lot of mileage here with that.
I'm trying to get some necromancers.
And pretty much at the end of the hall, you'll get to the last one on the left, and that's ultimately the one that you need to get to. Now, if you just kind of run there like I did, you can end up with a lot of dudes trying to give you some hassle. But that's kind of where you need to go. And
if you saw, let me just do a little tip. These guys, there's a lot of zombies, right? And they can get pretty rough if you just let them pile up. So you can see that as a bard, you can fascinate if you do have a bard in your party. It is possible to fascinate these corpses, and not having them move and get in your way can be very useful.
I think the way this works is when you kill the necromancers, that's when the barriers go down.
I got the 3 in the first room already. These guys are hexagoning.
Yeah, they do
open.
leash. Here we go. I now have the second crest. So again, it's kind of the last one on the left. Once you do get that, you can actually just run all the way back to the throne room because all this stuff will leash back. Or you can kill it all if you like killing zombies.
I've actually seen a couple of party wipes in this zombie room. Usually it's because people don't take care of the zombies. But you don't have to do it if you can just sort of handle all that aggro and stuff.
It's more exercise in how fast you can kill stuff. The alert is what's really going to get you.
Yep.
Alright, now we're going to go back the way we came, back towards the throne room. There's a nice little treasure chest over there that'll come important later.
I think it only has a jeweled key in it. So a lot of the loot that you get out of chests and for optional rewards comes in the form of these jeweled keys. And that's not very helpful if you already have a rogue, because all of the things that a jeweled key works on, your rogue or artificer can already pick.
Which is why it's handy to come in there with someone who can open locks.
Yep.
And find secret doors. Alright. This is the final fight in the basic version, but not the extended version, which is what we're doing. Kind of the key here is the helmed horrors. They're kind of nasty. They often heal from certain types of elemental damage, which I think changes depending on the helmed horror and the location.
Yes. It's like you hit him with one type of element, and you can hit him like 2 or 3 times, and then he's neutral to it, and then he starts getting healed from it, and you have to switch to a different element.
The main guy we want to defeat here is the guy in the throne. You can either kill the helmed horrors, they don't respawn, or you can just kite them around. Both are options. But the big thing is this fight ends one way or the other once you deal with him. I'm kind of going to run those around and just nuke this dude. You really don't want to try and fight all the Helm Horrors at the same time. That's when I usually see groups have a lot of problems with this fight, because it's really easy to get overwhelmed with even just 2 of those Helm Horrors if you fought them before. They are pretty beefy and swing a pretty nasty sword.
That went pretty well.
Yeah, so which one do you want me to choose? I have 2 options. I'll go see your master after I finish you off, or I'll go see your master.
Oh, I don't know. I don't really know what the difference is, to be honest.
One of them we have to kill him and fight these things. One of them, the other one we don't.
Yeah, well, there's another guy here to fight. Looks like we have to kill these Helm Horrors. My general experience that Helm Horrors are usually not healed by acid. Which is handy, because I'm an acid savant. Okay, once the fight's over, you'll get you get a jeweled key on the throne room. And there's 3 chests, which you can use the key to unlock one, but the other ones you can also pick. And there's a fun surprise in one of them.
Not this one.
Not that one.
Out of the way, Panther.
I'm pretty sure I can't knock those either.
Okay, not this one.
Must be the 3rd one. And there he is, our friendly mimic.
Chester!
Not this time. Revor's mimic.
Ah, they're all Chester.
Everyone's favorite monster. He does give you loot, though. There's a little bag where he was, and that'll give you your loot. So this is usually a good time to use that shrine that I showed earlier, because it's actually just the door that was kind of blocking the throne room. Once you win, goes down, so you can come over and use the shrine. So that's the end fight for the basic version. For the extended commentary version, the quest is not actually over. However, even on the basic version, you can still do some of the optional bosses. You can't do the dragon boss, but you can do the other ones, which we'll do now. And I think we'll start with the mummy. It's usually the one that I do first. It's also probably the easier one. And these are the chests that all the fun items drop in, although I don't remember particularly which one is which. So from the throne room, if you're looking at the throne, we're going to go to the left. And it is another jeweled locked door.
On the way.
Or we brought Sparksy.
Rune arm slows me down.
You can really start to see with all the traps and the doors why a rogue is very handy in these quests.
A lot of rooms where if you get too far in the room, it closes and closes people out. Oh, let's see. Wait.
The other thing that's good to know is a lot of people, you don't want to just randomly pass loot to other folks, because if people are going to re-roll their chest loot, they can't do that once you pass loot to them. Some people like to re-roll these chests.
Whoops.
Ooh, cool.
There's a trap there, guys.
It's kind of a fun little trap. I don't think I've ever seen that one before.
This is my favorite trap in the game now that I know about it.
It's kind of a fun little slide. Alright, this is the first big kind of mini-boss we're going to do here. This one's pretty simple. Kill the big guy, don't get overwhelmed by the trash, and declare victory. It's not too complicated. There's not really any gimmicks with this guy. It's just do a lot of damage and kill him. He'll start summoning a bunch of various undead monsters to help fight him. And I got some sort of really random tea thing that I haven't got before. Probably would have helped if I didn't drop this big acid cloud. You could see what's going on a little more. But there's a lot of skeletal guards coming to help the mummy. He's a pretty standard mummy. I don't know, is there anything else you guys want to add about this fight? It's pretty basic.
Kill
the mummy.
Yep.
The skeletons keep respawning until you kill the mummy. So it's kind of a balance of how fast you can kill those guys and the main guy at the same time.
Oh, not Danger Dog. I'm sorry, Danger Dog. I'm such a bad dog owner.
Do you have the carrying master?
I don't know, but I care.
Now that the mummy's dead, we can clean up the rest of these guys. And there's a nice handy chest over here. And if you look at the mini-map, there's a shrine, but it's kind of hard to actually use. You have to kind of go over in the corner where it is on the map, backspace target it, and then you can use it. It's kind of in a weird spot. And I should probably ask Jerry if that's actually working as intended, or if someone stuck that in the wrong spot.
You know, I'd actually have to ask the person who made it. I'm not sure.
Kind of figured you'd.
I think, obviously, you know, whatever. Maybe it was a little accident or whatever, but either way, it's there, so.
It's there. You can still use it. It's just kind of in a hidden spot.
Mm-hmm.
Now let's go do the fun one. I'm going to go do the statue next. And as I mentioned before, when you hit statues, they do electrical damage, and they debuff you while doing it. So over time, you can start taking a lot of electrical damage.
So there's an optional for collecting this loot too, this hidden treasure. If you do enough of these optionals, you'll come across it, enough of them to make it worth picking them up.
Did you find the secret door here?
I did, but it's on the. You can't open it from this side.
Well, that's strange.
It's only from the other side.
I know I've done it from that side. I wonder if that's a fix. The other way we can go is behind the throne room. You can get there as well. However, there's a lot of traps here.
Yeah, this is tough to get through. I don't have as good a reflex save as a dexterity rogue would. Although I have a lot of int and insight full reflexes, so you'd think I'd be okay. But any buffs anybody feels like throwing on me to help me get through here, I would certainly accept.
Let's see, what do you need?
I don't know. Speed, haste is probably good. I got that. I got speed on.
Use your globe thing.
Yeah, that's a good idea. All right, here I go. Yay! Look at me all alive and everything.
It's not too tough on normal, even without evasion. Although if you get hit in succession a couple times, you can certainly Certainly get smoked.
Watch out for the spell thingy. I think there's another one too, isn't there?
You know,
Maybe not.
I don't think so, because this is where that secret door is supposed to come out, which is usually the way that I go. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what happened to the door there.
I don't know. It's a mystery. We've spent hours trying to find it and have never found it.
That's kind of strange because I find it all the time. Maybe we need a really high search. You can find another one of those journals here.
Oh, now I'm challenged. I got to go back and put on all my search gear. I'll be right back.
The secret doors in here do have a variance in their DCs. They're not all the same measure.
That did it. All right. So I could have saved having to run through all those razors, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Just
Okay.
have to get a little extra findy with the traps. All right, so let's talk about this fight, because this is probably the hardest fight in here. It's one of those statues that does a lot of electrical damage, so any kind of electrical absorption or protection or any of that kind of stuff that you can get can be really helpful. The key here is if your stack gets up very high, you just kind of want to back away and stay out of range to get the debuff while you're killing it. And you can do pretty good doing that. Or if you're having problems getting rid of aggro, if everyone stops attacking, I'm pretty sure it stops blowing up and doing the debuff.
The other thing is that when our guild attacks this, we only let people go that do big hits. I mean, you don't have to have huge DPS, but what we don't want is people who do a lot of little hits, because every hit causes a stack.
Very good tip.
Yeah, so you really want your guys that hit hard to be the ones that are taking her out.
So
Big
probably should not be me, since I'm a swashbuckler and I'm all about many attacks.
That's okay. We'll make do. Just try not to wipe us. That's the key.
And of course, my big attacks are mainly electrical, so I'm kind of out of this one.
The other thing you can do here, of course, is kind of try and kite her around a little bit with some degree of success.
And that way you can make sure everybody in the party gets some of the buffs, some of the stack.
Yep. And you can see my stack's up to 26 now, so she's doing quite a bit.
Oops. Oh, crap. I didn't mean to start that.
Ouch. You got a res for me?
Yeah, Ray's coming in.
Thank you. Yeah, if you can kind of, sometimes people like to kite her around the bed and have folks kind of stand at the other end, or have someone kite her towards the door and stand on the, have other people kind of fight her from over where the bed is. You can evade the damage, which is good. That's also worth noting.
Another Ray's coming in.
I used the big hit strategy. Just got some attention.
Yep.
You can see why this is probably one of the more difficult fights. If you have a good evasion tank, you can do be pretty successful.
Yeah, every now and then you have a character that's built in such a way that they can pin her in the corner and everybody can just go off on her from a distance. But you have to have a great reflex save, evasion, and a lot of hit points.
Even then, she'll wear you down pretty good. But we're getting there. Oh,
here she goes. Another raise coming in.
If I thought about it, I would have grabbed an energy sheath. I have with my rogue pretty much gone straight melee on her with a trinket that has absorption on it, 33% absorption, plus the energy sheath from Draconic, and that works pretty good. I did pretty good doing that as well.
Oh, no special loot yet.
Par for the course. Alright, before we go to the giant, I'm going to go back to the mummy room and use the shrine there.
Good idea.
Yeah, you could see, I mean, in the fight with Muir there, I have evaded most of it, so, you know, I didn't die once. I mean, this is normal, but I'm just saying, if you have a good evasion, you're in a pretty good state there.
And improved evasion, too.
I just kept my distance, and that was good enough.
I grabbed aggro, and that was slightly less effective.
Well, it depends on your point of view. It was very effective for keeping me alive.
It's true. And I did get some big shots in.
Anybody want any weapon treatments?
It's like an enchantment.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh, I don't have that one.
Useless.
Hey, I'll tell you what. Now you have deadly scepters.
Woohoo.
And we'll give Bean a deadly banjo.
Nice.
'Cause I'm useful that way.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to getting the mad loot for cosmetic purposes, for sure.
Right, so to get to the giant, you go back to the throne room, and you go through the door on the right. I mean, if there's essentially 3 doors in the back of the room, and there's 3 main bosses to fight.
At least in some of the people I group with fairly regularly, we usually do this one first. But it doesn't really matter.
I'm sure that everyone has their preferences.
We have a theory about this one, but we've never successfully been able to test it.
Oh yeah, what's the theory?
That the Guardians of the Spear, or whatever the hell they're called, are enough to take out the giant all by themselves if you can completely avoid ever getting aggro from any of them.
That would be a trick.
We've never quite succeeded at it.
To be honest, I wasn't really aware that they attacked the giant.
Yeah, they do.
So, the trick here is you have to pull the spear out of the fallen giant, and then you have to kill him to put it back in, because you have to basically move him so you can get the chest. The trick is, as soon as you start taking the spear out, a bunch of mobs come and try and attack you. Let's see. Jared, do you want to try and grab that? Give you an invisibility.
Yeah, sounds good.
You. And I will give you some covering fire. Which is kind of the best way to do it, is just try and throw everything you have to keep that person from getting hit. If you're familiar with Servants of the Overlord, you may have tried to do the extreme optional in there. It's kind of the same idea. You want to keep your guy from getting hit while he pulls a really big, long lever. There's another one out in House J that has the same kind of theory as well. Can't remember the name of it though. Used to be a big loot run though. Beyond the Grave, maybe?
From Beyond the Grave, yeah.
Yeah.
With the 3 things you got to light up. Three. There you go.
Yeah, the pyres. Hey, and there he is. You know what? He's up.
I'm on the leader.
I think I'll have some tea. So again, this fight, once you get to this point, it's a pretty straightforward fight. Kill the named guy, and when other stuff comes, you kill that too. A lot of these fights really aren't too complicated, but they're still challenging, and they're well designed and fun. Now, which one of these is your guys' favorite boss to fight?
I don't know. I like a lot of them. I like them all. I guess I'd say the dragon could be good. This one's pretty awesome.
I like fighting Meor just because it's so hard. I think this is the easiest fight, though.
Probably the easiest once you get the. I don't know. The mummy, I think, is the easiest one because you don't have to deal with the like pulling the big long spear out, right?
There it goes.
And he's down, and we get to loot.
So there was a key there. You only had a few seconds to get that spear stuck back in him to use the giant to put the spear in. And I've been the guy who wasn't fast enough before and had to kill the giant a second time.
Does he regen completely?
Completely.
Nice.
He's a little easier to kill the second time, but not much. And maybe that was just in my head because I wanted him to be easier to kill.
Nice thing about doing this one, last, I believe there's a shrine around the corner as well. So the only thing that's left is the dragon, at least in terms of kind of the main direction of the fight, or of the quest. However, if you just did the basic, you can't do the dragon, so you're pretty much at this point completely done on a basic version.
But if you take this abbreviated path, you're missing probably at least a third of the dungeon, maybe half.
If not more, yeah.
I mean, there's an incredible amount of optionals and different trails you can go down that we're not even seeing. The kobolds and their machine gun ballistas. The what do you call it? The WC trail? Is that a polite way to put it?
I thought there was a shrine back here.
That's on this. There is one down here. It's the other way.
There it is. That's what we were looking for. I mean, let's see. We're at 10 secret doors discovered, and we only have an observance bonus.
And 14 traps and no bonus.
Yep. No idea how much of that stuff is in here. And they're deadly traps, too. I still like the door one. You know you're in an old school dungeon when a door kills you outright. Alright, so now we need to go back to the mini pillared hall. Which is near where we got the second crest. And on the way, we get to deal with a whole bunch of extra respawns. Ooh, they feeble-minded me.
hold on, trap. Oh, that's a good one. I always forget about that one. Look
It's
all
a
this
particularly
food.
good trap. You should try to get someone in there if you have the opportunity.
Yeah, why don't you go ahead and open the door, Bean, just so we can see the trap.
Sure, why not?
You could use the dog too.
We are not killing my dog. Use your dog.
Oh, I don't have a key. Yeah.
Hold on, I can fix that.
We
Yeah, it
actually
should be
don't even need to go
unlocked.
in that way either.
Still, for posterity's sake.
Yeah, we have to record this. Boom. Cheese grater. Nice way to live there, Bean.
Usually the box even explodes there too. Once you use it.
I think there's a secret door in there too, isn't there?
Further in, probably.
There's secret doors all over the place in here.
So I thought this was where his hand was. Oh, there's a journal in here.
And if you're really clever, you can mostly kind of invis and run past all this stuff.
Yeah, that's usually what I say.
But that's no fun. You get to kill stuff that way.
This is a trap ring with the chest.
Not the way we need to go. I'm trying to remember here.
Nah, we don't have to go in here. It's just fun. If you don't get the trap first, a really noxious cloud of poison gas comes out of here and probably kills everyone. But this one is really kind of a like a rhetorical question of a chest, because you need a rogue to safely get it, and all it gets you is a jeweled key, which you don't need if you have a rogue.
If you haven't used it, you can use the shrine before you go on farther. Now that door that had a wall in front of it, you can now go through. These helm horrors are kind of beefy. Pack a punch. The ones in
I just jumped.
the ones in
I
Deathworm
just-
are pretty tough,
Yeah, I just jumped down the hole.
which is what you can do. Let's see. I believe one of these doors is the way out, right? Some fall.
One is the way out, one leads to treasure. The other two just lead to fun.
Which one's one of the fun ones?
I think this one might be one of the fun ones. In the interest of science, I will let... Oh, a panther. Yeah, that'll do it. Okay.
Maybe. Sometimes they don't like to behave very well.
Boom. Oh, it lived.
Another handy
I mean,
thing
this
to have in here is a pet.
This is
Obeys
another fun one.
instructions.
Ooh, ouch. You got Danger Dog, too, somehow. So, that means these two are safe. Here's loot. I have no idea which of these chests are capable of dropping named loot, other than the three major optional ones that we already did,
I think that's mostly the ones that you need to do.
and the dragon ones, and the end one.
Pretty much you gotta fight a big boss and then you get fun stuff. Yeah, all right. So there's a couple of different things you can do here. One, you can fight. I believe you can fight him. But we're gonna go on his little quest, and we're gonna go fight a dragon, because fighting dragons is fun. And they really.
Anybody want fire weapons?
The thing I like about dragons these days is they've really done a good job of making dragons interesting and fun to fight. This guy, so you
I'm
can,
totally unprepared to fight this dragon. This character
okay.
was level 24 prior to starting today. But,
Ooh, lining up the excuses already.
Yep.
Just for that, you get fire on your weapon.
Nice. Again, this fight isn't really all that complicated. You're pretty much fighting a big dragon. There are some other mobs that help her or fight her, depending on what side they're on. There's kind of a lot going on here. Some of the stuff that's been frozen will fight for you, basically. And again, it's kind of an exercise in making sure you don't let trash get too far out of hand, but still have to defeat the boss. So nothing overly complicated. How you doing in there, Jerry?
I got a ways to go yet. This dragon has a lot of hit points. So if you do not have a lot of DPS, but I'm doing all right. I guess we're maybe 60%. But I'm doing all right. I'm not taking too much damage, and I'm able to either dodge or save against a lot of the attacks. Displacement, of course, helps.
I'm throwing out a mass heal on you every now and then, or whatever these little bottles are.
This is probably one of the more dynamic dragons in the game. Certainly one of the beefier ones, aside from raid bosses. Which technically this one is. All four of the kind of special bosses that we've fought are actually purple named. They're all raid bosses. She will fly in the air occasionally as well. I'm not sure if she's going to oblige tonight.
She's going down pretty fast now.
Yeah, we're getting into it. If you can kind of keep her away from the all of the other ice cones that have wizards and stuff frozen in them, that can kind of help your cause a little bit, so you don't have to fight too many trash mobs. Well, they do kind of help fight her as well. And I will say too, just kind of a general note, if you're attacking dragons, particularly larger ones, go after their hind legs if you're melee. That's usually a fairly safe spot to attack from. They tend not to do as much damage from that location. You'll still take some, but definitely stay away from the mouth. That's kind of the business end.
Here she goes.
There we go. And you get to loot her nice stash.
Blackstones. Not very many since we're on normal, but still, Blackstones.
Yeah, I've gotten 5 so far this run.
Then to get out, because there's a cave-in, you have to actually destroy the cave-in to get back the way you came. Which is actually surprisingly beefy.
Imagine doing it in real life with a sword. It would take you a while.
It's true. Luckily, we have things that are better than swords. Like magic spells.
Oh, yeah, right.
I pretty much shot my wad on the dinosaur out there.
And once you go back to the dimension door, go back to the guy who gave you the quest. When you talk to him, he gives you just kind of some explanation stuff, and then he gives you a bunch of XP. Oh, we didn't grab the egg though.
Oh, we forgot the egg?
You forgot the egg.
Do we have to go back?
The whole point of going in here is to grab an egg.
Are you getting the egg?
Yeah, I'm getting an egg.
I've seen that happen more than once, too.
Well, it's
like
not
you
like
said,
we're
this
experts
is-
or anything.
Yeah, you said this was intended to be a walkthrough to show people how to do it, not to prove that we're awesome.
Yeah, exactly. And then you get one last chest.
Ooh,
which
9
has
more
Blackstones.
Blackstones.
Yeah, if you're looking for Blackstones, the extended version is definitely the way to go. I don't think the other optionals give you stones. So if you just do the end fight and then come straight here, that's kind of the quick way to do it. Well, there we go. That is Haunted Halls. I don't know if you guys want to throw anything else in here before we...
Well, just a note that there is other stuff yet to do in here if you wish to do it. There are whole sections of this quest that don't always get run, but certainly can be run and have a lot of fun stuff going on in them as well. But this is really just sort of the direct path. Or mostly direct path, I guess.
Yep. We missed the bed bugs. We missed the instant kill traps. We missed the kobolds and their machine gun ballistas, which are so funny.
We even missed a named fight that's pretty close to the entrance with this sort of ceremony thing going on.
Oh,
There's a
right
bunch
now.
of stuff,
Right.
right.
Yep. I forgot about that. And everything that you drop down the toilet to get to.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that sounds weird, but actually that's what you do. You drop down the toilet to get to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a huge quest. There's a
It's
lot.
the jail area.
There's a lot there, so you can spend a lot of time in there and really explore it if you like, or you can do kind of the quicker route, which is what we did. I think when it first came out, there was kind of the expectation that you could, if you knew what you're doing, you could probably take about 45 minutes to do extended. But if you really kind of stopped and smelled all the roses, you could probably get somewhere in the neighborhood of a couple hours of questing out of it. So,
Oh, yeah,
that's what I was
easy.
looking for.
If you're going slow and steady, particularly if you're an exploration type, you can really spend quite, I would say 3 hours easily in here as well. It could be a really full sort of night of questing.
Oh,
if
yeah.
you want to make it that.
Especially if you're doing it with the commentary version, you can get a lot of fun insight into the dungeon and the creation.
And some of those fights are insane on Epic Elite. Insane. So hard and so challenging.
You have to figure it's pretty much among the toughest content currently available by level, so they want to make it somewhat tough.
We have not yet been able to get through that dragon on Elite. We were able to do the rest of it. It took forever.
Yeah,
but
it
we
takes a
cannot
long
get the
time.
dragon. Cannot get the dragon.
Yes, it takes a very long time.
Well, thanks guys for joining me. Appreciate
Yeah,
the
that
help.
was great. Thank you. I love this quest. It's really a lot of fun to run. I really enjoy it.
Yeah, it's my favorite quest in the game.
I think a lot of people share that sentiment. It's, if not their favorite, it is, if they've played it, it's one of the most fun quests in the game. It's very dynamic, particularly if you have pen and paper roots. It's easily the best approximation of pen and paper in terms of a dungeon in the game, which makes sense because it was based off of pen and paper dungeon. So
I guess we, as was stated in the producer's letter, we have another one coming up. So,
ooh, any ideas to win?
Next year, I think is what it was said.
Yeah.
Is it a Forgotten Realms one? It would have to be, right?
I can give no further detail.
Hey, a man's got to try.
Indeed.
Oh man, I sure hope it's White Plume Mountain. Oh come on, White Plume Mountain.
Well, thanks very much, guys. I appreciate it, and I hope that was helpful for folks. And if you haven't done Haunted Halls, go and run Haunted Halls. It's a really fun quest. And it's very different from a lot of other quests in the game. And it was well done, and a lot of love was put into it. So go have fun there. Thanks for listening to the cast, and thanks to Jerry and Geoff for joining me for this and giving me a hand.
Yeah, thanks everyone. Have fun.
Good times. Later.